Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something very interesting. We're going to be ranking my favorite band of all time with Killswitch Engaged. And let me tell you this right now. I am very biased. I have very high opinions of this band that isn't going to match everyone. So if my opinions don't match with you, don't worry about it. These are just my opinions, alright? And this is my favorite band of all time, so yeah, just know everything's going to be very high. And we're going to start off with their self-titled debut in 2000. This is going to... Hold on. There we go. This is going to amazing. Excellent opener with Temple from Within and Vita Infera. Vita Infera. I also love Irreversible, Rusted Embrace, Prelude, Soulborn, Numbsick Eyes, In the Unblind, One Last Summer. Is a fantastic closer. The only reason why this album isn't higher is mainly because it feels a little bit like a demo. It is very short, clocking in at barely 30 minutes. And honestly, it's just kind of death by comparison. Like, I think this album would probably be at perfection for any other tier list I did, but for their own discography, it's gotta be near the bottom. But next up we have Alive or Just Breathing, released in 2002. This album This album is going to perfection. This album is amazing. Like, seriously, 10 out of 10 opener with Numbered Days, Self-Revolution, Fixation on the Darkness, My Last Serenade, Life to the Lifeless, Just Barely Breathing, To the Sons of Man, Temple from Within, The Element of One, Vita Infera, Without a Name, Rise Inside. I'm not joking. This album is perfection and a half. And astoundingly, this isn't even my favorite album from Jesse Leach. like you'll see. But next up, we have 2004's The End of Heartache. And this album is my favorite album of all time and is going to the top of perfection. Like, do I have to say anything? Like, you gotta bid farewell, take this oath, when darkness falls. My favorite song of all time, Rose of Sharon, which is in dedication to Adam D's mother. Fun fact for you all. I also love Inhale, Breathe Life, The End of Heartache, Declaration, World Ablaze, and Emperor's Rise, Wasted Sacrifice, and Hope Is. I got nothing to say other than this is pure perfection. Like, I got nothing snarky to say. Like, this is my favorite album of all time. Please, 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 if you take nothing else from this video, check this album out. Please. But next up we have As Daylight Dies, released in 2006. This album is going to near perfection. It's very close. Great opener with Daylight Dies. His Absolution is an amazing track. Same with The Arms of Sorrow, Unbroken, My Curse, For You, Still Beat Your Name, Eye of the Storm, and Break the Silence. Desperate Times is a great track as well. But Reject Yourself is the crown jewel on this album, at least in my opinion. This is a perfection-worthy song right here that almost rivals the End of Heartache. I'm not even kidding. Fantastic closer. But as a whole, this isn't quite as good as The End of Heartache or Alive or Just Breathing. Very close, but it's not quite as good. And next up we have the self-titled album, which I believe was released in 2009. This album is going to fantastic. Now, let me tell you this. Let me give you a little bit of background. This album is much darker than the rest of their discography in general. This was released when Howard Jones was dealing with a lot of personal stuff, also type 2 diabetes as well, which he managed to get a hold of and got it down, and he's got total control of it. He is very fit now. He is very in control of everything. He's fine now, but at this time there was a lot of struggles physically and mentally. But great opener with Never Again. I also like Starting Over, The Forgotten, Reckoning. The Return is one of my favorite tracks on here, actually. I also love A Light in a Darkened World, Take Me Away. I Would Do Anything is another personal favorite. Same with Save Me. I also love Lost and This Is Goodbye. Excellent album. Excellent album, honestly. It just pales in comparison to the last handful, except for the self-titled. I think this is a little bit better than the self-titled. It just has higher highs, in my opinion. And it's a little bit of a darker experience. Like, if you just need something more moody and more depressing, then this is the Killswitch Engaged album for you. But next up, we have Disarm the Descent, released in, I believe, this was released in, was it 2011 or 2012? One second, please. 2013. Sorry about that. I thought it was released in 2011, 2012. It was released in 2013. This album is going to near perfection. I would argue even above As Daylight Dies, honestly. Excellent opener with The Hell in Me. I also love Beyond the Flames, The New Awakening, In Due Time, A Tribute to the Fallen, Turning Point, All We Have. You Don't Bleed for Me is a fantastic track, but it's my least favorite on here. I also love The Call, No End in Sight, Always, which has a very devastating music video to it. I'm not even joking about that one. Like, seriously, if you're not in a good place, be careful watching the music video for this one. Like, this is not a joke. I also love Time Will Not Remain as well. Excellent album. Just an excellent album from beginning to end with only one song that isn't quite on par with the rest. Fantastic album. And next up we have Reincarnate. We have Incarnate, which was released in, I believe it was released in 2016, but I could be wrong. Hold on. Yep, it was released in 2016. And unfortunately, this is my least favorite Killswitch Engaged album. I'm still giving it a B plus though. I don't care. This album isn't bad by any means. It's still a really fantastic album. I love Alone I Stand and Hate by Design. However, though, Cut Me Loose is the weakest track they've ever done. It's still a fantastic track, don't get me wrong, but it's death by comparison at this rate. And this is the weakest track they've ever done. I also love Strength of the Mind, Just Let Go, Embrace the Journey, Quiet Distress, Until the Day, Falls on Me, The Great Deceit, Carry On, and Ascension. Excellent album. Excellent album, in my opinion. It's just not as good as the rest. It just falls a little short, just a little bit. But that's literally just in their own discography. I still feel like I would rank this album probably at top of fantastic to bottom of perfection on any tier and on any other tier list, at least in my opinion. But next up we have Unleashed, released in 2019. I actually owned this album on CD alongside The End of Heartache. And this album is in second for me, right behind The End of Heartache, even above Alive or Just Breathing. Excellent album. Excellent album from the opener Unleashed. That's actually the weakest track on here in my opinion, but it picks right back up even above Alive or Just Breathing with the Signal Fire, Us Against the World, The Crownless King, I Am Broken 2, which also has a really devastating music video to it. Once again, if you're not in a good place, be careful watching this one, okay? I also love As Sure as the Sun Will Rise, Know Your Enemy, Take Control, Ravenous, I Can't Be the Only One, and Bite the Hand That Feeds. Just a riff machine on this one, man. Like, it is so good. But next up we have... Oh, man. One second, please. Next up we have This Consequence, released in 2025. And this album, in my humble opinion, because I've seen varying opinions on this, but in my personal opinion, I'm putting this at the top of near perfection. Excellent album, in my opinion, especially from the opener of Abandon Us, Discordant Nation, Aftermath, Forever Aligned, I Believe, Where It Dies, Collusion, The Fall of Us. Broken Glass is my least favorite, but that is still an excellent track. I also love the closer Requiem. I love this album from beginning to end, honestly. Like, the only reason why it's not in perfection is just because I could pick out a least favorite with my top three. Aside from Unleashed, I can't really do that, but even then, I think Unleashed is still better than Broken Glass. Broken Glass is still like a very close to a 10 out of 10 track. It's still like a strong 9. It's just pales in comparison just a little bit to Unleashed. Just a little bit. It really did give Alive or Just Breathing a run for its money. But that should do it. Tell me your favorite Killswitch Engaged songs in the comments below. Tell me your Killswitch Engaged ranking. Tell me if I got it right. Tell me if I got it wrong. And all of you have a great weekend, a great day, and a great week. I'll see all of you next week. Take care, everyone. See you next time.